Hey y'all, welcome to the That's Unique podcast, a safe place to embrace individuality, a place where we can keep it all the way real, answer emails, DMs, tweets, whatever. I'm your girl Unique. Let's get started.
Hey, welcome back. This week we are talking about the final episode 12 of the Courtship. Okay, so our girl Nicole is supposed to choose her man today. All right, so if you don't know, this is actually a show set in the Regency era. This a dating show, and she is going through with class and grace most of the time, looking for her future husband. And the three remaining guys are Christian, Danny, and Jesse. My pick is Jesse. Like, he is my number one pick, and if she doesn't pick him, I don't know what's wrong with her. But anyway, she starts the episode with her wanting a commitment. She wants a proposal at the end of this episode. She says she wants the type of commitment that she is willing to give. So pretty much, propose, we're getting married, you're my husband. That's what she's looking for. Anyway, so this episode, the Daily Tea comes out and they're going into modern times. Not bad. So everyone will be dating in today's day and age. So I cannot wait to see this episode because I wanted to see everyone, how they got along in their own atmospheres, their regular day life, because that would be the test. All right, so they go on their modern day dates, and the first date is with Danny. Now, she's excited to go on a date with Danny. She has talked about her having, I believe he was the first date in the first episode, and the fireworks, and that she's fallen in love with him along the way, and everything's just being so great, except for the fact that he keeps saying he likes her. She knows they have chemistry. She loves that he's affectionate and not scared to show his affection in public, and all of that stuff. I personally feel like, because she keeps saying you haven't told me you love me, or you just keep telling me you like me, I feel like that is, and also saying she wants a proposal, also putting pressure on him to say he loves her, and he may not actually feel that way. Like, I personally feel like if you keep telling someone something, especially men, they're like, okay, well, I like her and I want to be with her, so I'm going to do it. But that does not make it genuine. It means I want you to shut it. They're like, I want you to shut it, so I'm just gonna say, hey girl, I love you. Anyway, on their date, they really seem to be having a great connection. Danny did clean up very well. They both looked really good together. He looked very comfortable. He didn't look as nervous as he usually does on the show, and that was a good thing. It was really good. But I don't know, I just don't see them being together and their life being that easy. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. The dude that puts on this grid, but you see little hints of the snap. Just snap and lose his mind. But anyway, that's not for me. You know, it's her situation she's choosing, so moving right along. Alright, so moving on to the next date. The next date was with Jesse, my guy Jesse. So she walks into the bar and she sees him, and him in his street clothes is even better looking. Like, girl, what? Even she was speechless. This girl was in her confessional. She was like, no words. No words. Anyway, they get into the bar and he attempts to make her favorite drink. I think French. This episode I didn't make notes. We're just going. We're discussing. Anyway, he attempts to make her favorite drink. It didn't come out as planned, but it was honestly a cute gesture. So they talk. They look into each other's eyes. They have that crazy chemistry that we get to see again. And they go outside. And as they go outside, or when they go outside, they begin to kiss each other. And he lifts her up and he puts her on the side of the building. And honestly, that was like a magical moment. That was like a movie. Even though, you know, reality TV sometimes is scripted, that looked like a genuine moment. And it was very cute. And again, she was speechless. So we cannot deny their chemistry is on 1,000. But outside of that, I still feel like she has this problem with being with someone who's not toxic. Like, I just feel like she's one of those girls that are like, men. There's always something wrong with them, but girl, you have a dude right in front of you that could be all you need him to be and you want him to be, and you're like, let me choose the other one. Let me choose the other one. She still has this like hesitation with Jesse, and I'm like, what is it? Everyone likes him. Everyone likes him. Maybe that's what it is. Everyone likes him. She's a rebel. She must be. She's a rebel. I also have to give Jesse props because he was not even there at the very beginning. He was one of the latecomers and he made it all the way to the end, and he's just had manners. He was chivalrous. He knew how to act and he knew how to treat her. And that is what really got him to the end, and that's what made him sit out. He was just so respectful, and it was honestly very refreshing. Like, he was not overbearing in any way, and it was really nice. Alright, so her next date, Nicole's next date, is with Christian. And honestly, Christian making it this far is very nice, but they still have this like friendship, not quite relationship. So I'm hoping on this date he like steps it up, and I'm sitting there the whole time like, sir, hold her, grab her, kiss her. Because in every testimonial she keeps like, the fireworks, it's not there. So this, I kept looking at it, I was like, hold her hand, grab her. Anyway, during the date, they seemed to be, like, he set up a whole little romantic situation. I think they were in a building, but it looked like a little tent and pillows on the ground, and then they were kind of like stargazing. He says this is something he does when he's back home. So he also had the stars set up as they were on the night of her birth in Seattle. So that was a super romantic gesture. She almost teared up. She had like a little tear in her eye, a little tear, nothing too major. But you can see that she appreciated it. And it seems like Christian would be super romantic if they actually were able to make it. But I was finally like, okay. He finally kissed her. Like, whew, the whole time I was like, sir, she says you're not doing it for her. It was just so crazy. I was just yelling at the screen time, but I'm happy he finally kissed her, and it seemed like they had some kind of a connection, but at the same time, I was looking at her face, and she was just like, oh, so sweet. She didn't have the same look on that she has with Danny or Jesse, so I was like, I really like you, Christian, but it just wasn't enough. But as we're leaving the date, like the camera's leaving the date, they're standing and slow dancing under the stars. So it was cute. It was a really cute date. You can tell, yes, he's very romantic and thoughtful. I'm happy for that, but yeah. Okay, so now we're back at the castle. Well, kind of on the castle. We're on the grass before the castle. And she's told that she can only bring 2 back to the castle that will be involved in the farewell dance. So right here, she has to cut somebody, which is at the end of the day after all the dates. So the first person she chooses is Danny. Of course, you know, her fireworks, Danny. I was hoping to goodness that in that moment she would look at it and be like, it can't be, but you know, who am I? So she chooses Danny. He walks off to the side. The next person she chooses is Jesse, and I'm just cheering like, yes, we have a chance. And then Christian, like, I still felt really sad for him, even though I knew he probably wasn't going to be that guy. It was still like a really sweet yet sad, I'll say emotional goodbye. It was really cute. He's heartbroken. He's definitely heartbroken, and he's gonna take a while to get over it, but you know what? I'm happy she's like not stringing him along, you know, anymore. Because it seemed like she was trying to feel something more for him, but they can only be friends. It's just friend zone. So she goes back to the castle with Danny and Jesse, Mr. Bikikio and Mr. Judge. So the next scene, we see Nicole in the parlor with her people, her parents, her family, and she asks them, you know, for their opinions or advice, and he sees Jesse as a good choice. He sees him as a good husband and father, and of course I'm like, yeah. Yes, he would be. Anyway, the mom, she also feels the same way, but she also feels like they need to spend more time with Jesse just to get to know him a little better. The next daily tea pretty much says she's going to have one last date with each one of the men. So I'm like, all right, Jesse, all right now. But her first date is actually with Danny. On Danny and Nicole's final date, they're out horseback riding and discussing, you know, their future together and what it might look like. And it was a cute conversation. And then they arrive at an area that he had set up with, was it a picnic? I would say like a romantic picnic. And he had little notes and things hanging from the tree. So he's taking out each note and he's reading like his feelings for her off of the papers, because he wrote a feeling on each paper. She takes down one note, or he takes down one note, and it's blank. And he said, this was too important for me to write down. I had to tell you face to face. And it's pretty much that he loves her. So he told her he loves her back, finally. I didn't keep my opinions myself, but you know. Anyway, she's excited about that. You know, the feeling's been reciprocated. It was done in such a nice way, a romantic way. So she's very excited about that. And then it was at that point for me, of course, I'm like, come on, Jess, you need to bring it. You need to bring it, sir. So Jesse has a little sit down with Mr. and Mrs. Remy, and they ask him questions and they're just talking, and he is saying that he will support all of her ambitions. He will be there for her. He wants to marry her, start a family, and become a part of their family. He wants to move to where they're from, Seattle. So it was all good. I just feel like, I don't know, I think there was somewhere where he said he's a safe bet or something like that, and I was just like, sir, no, she wants a rebel, clearly. So don't say that. Anyway, the parents really liked Jesse, and you could see that, and Dad was like, you know, you have to tell my daughter she's the one, so she knows she's the one. Like, Dad is so excited about Jesse. Like, he had my energy. I love it. I was like, yes, Dad, we need Jesse. Alright, so Nicole and Jesse are going on their date, and they come to a location by a fence, and he holds out his arm, and then a falcon lands on it, or an eagle. I think it's falcon though. Anyway, and it has a little pouch attached to it, and then he asks her to open it. She opens it, and there's a key inside, and he brings her into a room that she says she's never seen before. So they open it up, and it's literally the very top of the castle, looking down onto the ballroom. And he wanted to go back to the place where they met for the first time, and it was cute. It was a very romantic moment. They kissed. It was very nice. I was like, okay, Jesse. Next, Danny gets to talk with the Mr. and Mrs. Remy. So as they're having their conversation, Danny says that he would like to move in with Nicole. So he's gonna move to Seattle. And he promises to always be truthful and honest with her, which I don't doubt. Like, he's saying the things that would make parents happy, but it's just, there is something about the way he's saying these things. Maybe it's just because he's nervous, but it's just like, so hard to believe. Like, so hard to believe what he says. Okay, back to Jesse and Nicole's date. So they horseback ride to another location, and it's outside, and it's kind of like camping but a little more glamorous, and he's making her a grilled cheese sandwich in a little skillet, and it's cute. And then they have a conversation, and he asks Nicole how many kids she would like. I think she asked if it's too much, and he's like, no, he's always said 3, so I guess they're around the same area. But at the end of the day, she can afford it. She has a really good job. Clearly, if he's moving to her city, he'll have to find a new job in his field, or whatever. But I think they'll be good. They'll be good. Okay, so after that, we go to a scene where Nicole is in again, and she's saying she feels like Jesse is just too safe. It's just too safe. Like, this girl. I'm like, but you're asking for commitment. You're asking for commitment, and you literally fell for the 2 guys that struggled to offer you that. Lincoln can't at all. Danny is like, was saying I like you all the way up until just today, because, you know, you keep bothering him and saying that you only told me you like me. So he's told you he loves you now, and you're looking for commitment. Jesse is not struggling, but that's why it's really giving me that this girl enjoys a challenge. We'll just put it that way. She enjoys a challenge. All right, so we come down to the final day, and everyone looks wonderful. They're dressed up in white. Nicole's wearing a beautiful dress. Her hair looks beautiful. She just looks amazing. And when they get into the ballroom, her parents do let her know that they give their blessing to whoever she chooses, because they feel like they're both good options. You know, Jesse is here. What is she talking? What are they talking about? So they both have a chance to dance with Nicole in the ball. And as Danny's dancing with Nicole, Jesse says he feels a little uneasy about the connection that they have. So he decides to cut in and take Nicole to the side and tell her how he truly feels. So he's giving it one last go, like, this is it, you know? So they go walk outside and sit down on the steps and begin to talk. I really did appreciate him taking Nicole outside to talk to her privately, so that they could actually have an intimate conversation. While they go outside, Nicole's sister ends up dancing with Danny, and she asked, you know, what kind of commitment? Did she ask what kind of commitment? Something along those lines. What kind of commitment is he willing to give her sister? And he says he sees a proposal sometime in the future. So I'm like, okay, all right. He's saying what needs to be said. This is what he's doing. So while Jesse is outside talking with Nicole, he tells her every time he goes on dates with her, he just falls in love with her, and he gets butterflies. Like, come on, Jesse, come on. I'm like, yay. Nicole looks into his eyes, and she starts to, I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, oh no, you know, you could just tell. So she looks at him, and she's like, I feel like you would be an amazing husband and father, but it wasn't in the way that I can't wait till you're my husband and the father of my kids. It was like, ugh, it's not you, it's me. Anyway, she says, you know, you would make a great husband and father. And then she says, every time I'm with you, I have butterflies too, but I have more butterflies with someone else. Nicole, man, come on, bro. What? Yeah, she broke it to him there. And I guess it's for the best. Instead of stringing him along and having to see Danny get chosen and just making it a whole thing, being honest at that moment, since she's already know what person she wants to choose was the right thing to do. I was just, you know, disappointed. He was definitely heartbroken and speechless in that moment. It was so sad. It was so sad. And I'm sure everyone that was watching it live was like, you know, losing their ish in their living room. At the end of the day, we know Jesse will be just fine. I'm sure his DMs instantly blew all the way up. Because there's a lot of people out here that have sense. And then in her like little testimonial, Nicole does say that she sent Jesse home in hopes that she will receive a proposal from Danny. So, or in hopes that she will see or receive the commitment she's looking for from Danny. We have to hope for the commitment. Like, this is the thing. Girl, you know exactly who you could have received these things from, but you know, we like playing this game. Okay, so she wants the commitment she's looking for, and I'm going to assume that it is a proposal because he has already said he'll move in with her in Seattle. He loves her. He let her know he loves her, and I'm just not sure what level of commitment she's looking for from him specifically, because he stated, you know, we should date for a while, we should do this, it's too quick. And then just to throw everything to the wind, make us all crazy because none of this makes sense, Danny gets down on one knee and proposes to Nicole. She's shocked. I'm shocked. I'm sure everyone was shocked. Well, they were outside, so they were away from the family, so no one at this moment knew that this happened. So they kiss, they hug, he puts the ring on, she's crying, they gather themselves, and then they walk back into the castle, into the ballroom, and the family sees who she chose, which was Danny. They're excited, everyone's happy, and as she walks in, she then flashes her finger, and everyone loses their mind even more. It was a very emotional moment, and it was a very happy moment. I was happy for her, happy for them. So, you know, I can't be mad. You can't choose who you love, I guess. You fall in love with who you fall in love with, and she just was really into Mr. Bikikio, Mr. Danny, you know, from episode 1. So it is what it is. I really, really hope things go well with them. I hope they work out. I hope they do get married and stay married. I hope this was not just a proposal because she's been asking for it. I hope, like, I truly hope it was genuine. So anyway, congratulations, Nicole. Congratulations, Danny. That was it for this show. I know that I have been recording off, like completely off. I should have these things out next day. This is my first time doing it for a show, so I will get better. I swear, I will get better. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.